to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Yesterday, check this out, we've got health bars for our geckos. So now, their AI, some of them track our Y position first, some of them track our X position first. And then we added yesterday where they get less health when we collide with them, and they turn into a normal gecko and run away once they have no health. So that was what we pulled off yesterday in 30 minutes, which was really cool. But we cobbled it together in 30 minutes, so it's kind of gross. So today we're probably going to be tidying that up a bit, and then maybe deciding what to do from then on forward. Let's take a look at how we did this. Now, if we go into our entity walk state, we'll see that we have a random AI path, right? So it's like we get, if it's path 1, it tracks our Y position. If the AI path is 2, it tracks our X position. Now this is jacked. This should be X. And then here's the thing I want to fix from yesterday. So we wanted to turn the entity direction into a random direction so that once it turns into a normal gecko, it just picks one direction and just walks that way. Now, we could do something like we just figure out what quadrant the gecko's in and have it walk off in that quadrant, you know? So it's like, if it's in the top half of the screen or top quarter of the screen, well, yeah, I don't know. We'd have to come up with a pattern to pull, because it's kind of like we can pick. I guess we could do some calculation to kind of get like the nearest edge for the gecko, and he just walks to the nearest edge. For right now, it's random. I don't know if I want to do that. We probably should. It should probably take the path of least distance, I would think. So maybe we can work on that. Because right now it's just getting a totally random direction. And then I don't like this. We've got this, we put this entity.flipped gets true, and we put that so that we only assign a direction once as soon as it gets flipped. So I think we need to add something a little different here. So that we can just do this once, but flipped isn't the right thing to call it. I want to say like, if we're not corrupted, that means we just got cleansed, right? And every frame afterwards. This is why we had this flipped variable. So I think I want to say something like recently cleansed or something like. I don't know. Flipped is what we put in there just because we were running late to Ghostbusters, so we just popped in something to get it to work. But I think we want to call it something better. Or like, how can we ensure we only set the direction once? And you know what? Where are we changing the animation? Because that's where we should do it. When we change our animation to become our normal gecko, that's probably when we should do it. We do that under, okay, that makes sense. We would do it under the collision detection. So like, if we go maybe in our scene, let's see here. It's called Firecast. What is it called? Fire Spellcast? No? Firecast? Crap. What do we call it? Fire spell collides. Okay, so we're doing this in the entity class. Okay, so if we collide... Now, when do we change the animations? I'm not even seeing it. Dot animations. Maybe it's under our change animations function? No? Change animation. I can only program probably 30 minutes today because I've got homework due. I'm technically a week ahead already, but I want to be able to do the extra credit homework essentially. So if I finish the homework tonight, I can jump on that this week while I'm at work. Man, I am sucking it up. We're looking for where we change the animation to be equal to our uncorrupted gecko. So maybe what we can search for is change animation to our normal gecko. And that's not there. I feel like we reassign our dot animation field. But it's a little worrisome that I'm not knowing where this is. Entity walk state. We change our animation for our walking. We change our direction. Yeah, dude, where are we changing our actual animation to the normal gecko? Right here. Okay, so what we can do instead of having a dot flipped, we can just put it right here. Right, because this is as soon as our gecko is dead, as soon as our corrupted gecko is dead, we're going to become not corrupted anymore, and that's when we could go ahead and cycle our this is what we want to do. So we want to assign a random direction right here. Now we still kind of have the same problem with oh lordy, where are we? We got to go to our entity walk state up here. Okay. Okay, so I think what we want to do, since we don't want to call this direction assignment every single frame once our entity's health is smaller than or equal to 0, I think what we want to do is we want to say, well, the thing is it's already in a block here. If we're corrupted, then if our health is smaller than or equal to 0, we're going to get our new direction, and then we're going to become no longer corrupted. So the next frame, this will evaluate to false, and we won't be assigning a new direction every frame. So we can go ahead and take this out, and that means we can take out our flipped looks like we're missing an end there. We should be able to take out our flipped field from our entity class. Then, oh, shoot. So one thing is like, look at that. If I trap them inside the spell cast, they kind of just ping pong inside the, cause since I have 5 freaking spells, they just kind of ping pong in there. So I'm kind of thinking that we can set a little cooldown on the just collided, so that if we've just collided, we don't become whatever our field is for getting knocked back. I feel like we can change that so that we don't get a ping pong effect like that. You can only get, they get hit, the frame they're hit, they get their velocity vector, they skid off, and then they walk back. So we should do that, but we should also take out this entity flipped. We don't need an entity flipped anymore. So we'll take that out, and we'll take it out of our map declarations. I think we initialized it there, or we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. We just put it in the init there. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. We want to see how we're doing the knockback. So if we did this correctly, we should be able to grab search for a knockback. And we didn't put knockback in, so let's see how we do that in our entity walk state or our entity class. I'm not sure. Probably in our entity class. Wherever we assign our dx and dy to our entity upon a collision. So let's see a dx. Yeah, we do it here. Okay, so that's the slowdown, but that's not the assignment. Where do we do this? Here we go. So this is the knockback. So this is what we want to be able to grep search string for and be able to just find. So what we can do is say that this is the entity knockback for spell collisions. Okay, and then since these are all one number, 1.3, 1.3, we can add this as a constant so that we can just adapt it as needed. So what we'll do is we'll put it up here. We'll say spell knockback or spell knockback. I don't know. 1.3, right? So if it's 1.3, then what we can do here is replace all of our 1.3s, substitute 1.3 with our spell knockback, and then we should be in business. And we still need to add that cooldown so that they can only get knocked back, once in a second, so that they don't get buffeted inside the spellcast there. Like this. Oh, well, like that. I don't know, it's kind of fun that they ping pong around. But once we add collision detection from them to us, we need that to not be possible, because if they're bouncing around inside our spells, then they would be causing us damage, and we don't want that. So we do have to add that, as well as I would love for them to have a little flashing red animation, right? As soon as they get hit, they flash red for, 1 second or so. Probably half a second, but... Yeah. Let's see if we can figure out the flashing. That could be fun. So I guess, yeah, let's see if we can figure out the flashing. So for right now, let's do it on our character. So what we'll do is we'll spawn us here in our scene 1-1 instead, which I think is in our play state. We go player, no, player, no, where the it's not in our play state, it must be in our scene. Nope, where is our player instantiation? This is our player instantiation here, but oh, you know what? It's in our scene. We're not looking for our player instantiation. We're looking for what scene we initialize in our play state. So I think what we want to search for is our scene view, because that's our actual main scene. And then we want the, oh lordy, the instantiation of it, where we start. Where are we? Right there. So instead of 1, 2, 1, 1, and we'll add a thing starting scene. So now we can find this. Whenever we want to change our starting scene, we can search for starting scene and then come here and change it. So now we don't have the gecko screen, we have right here. So I'm going to test our flashy red on our Tashio here. So let's see what that might look like. Now our player is deferring its render to the entity class. So we'll go see our entity class render, and that defers it to our state machine. So we would want to change it in our idle state if we want to see our player change. So we're not setting a color for this render here. So what we want to do is set our color, I guess, to normal white dot set color, and we're going to set it to white. Now I believe we have a red constant. Yeah, we do. So we can go ahead and easily set it to red. So let's see what happens if we change our render to a red color before we draw it. It looks normal. It looks normal. That's in entity idle state. This love.graphics.set color, I thought for sure this would change it. What is taking so long? Okay. Okay. Why is it only changing it over here? That doesn't make any sense to me. Would it change it down here? No. No. What? What? Why would it only change it over here? Let's see. We're changing. We should be in idle state for our scene here. We go into our scene. And we just, let me just try to print something up. We're gonna say, well, we've got to set our color to pure white first. And then, we can hopefully say, print this at 0, 0. Okay, we can see that, so let's go put our, we want to put our self.player dot, how do we put the name of the state that our player is in? Because our player instantiation will have a state machine assigned to it. It's it might be in our entity class dot state machine. It is a dot state machine. So how would we print out the name of the state machine? Would we go, what we want to do is say, we're going to print up state, and then we want to say that we want to, concatenate this with a stringified version of the self.player.state machine name. The state machine doesn't have a name, or it has a name, but it's not a string. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I don't know how to do that. Let's look at our state machine class and see if we can find anything about it. Maybe the dot current function that returns states. State name right here, maybe. So it looks like the dot current is the actual state machine. I don't see a way other than this state name. But this state name is only a local parameter to our change function. It's not part of our init. So I don't know of a way we can print out the state we're in. So why would we be, oh gosh, well, we did that wrong. Okay, so let's, I mean, why would this be happening? Why would we be normal and then red only, and now it's not working? Okay. All right. So we want to go, where did we change in our scene? We did, it's actually in our entity walk or entity idle state. We're going to set our graphic color to red before we render our entity idle. So this kind of tells me, well, this is weird because like it's changing us to red, but only on the second page. That doesn't make any sense to me. We must only be doing something on our map 1-2 as far as our scene is concerned. So let's see if we're doing any weird stuff like that in our update. It doesn't look like we are. Let me just make sure our entity idle state's what's rendering our player. It's rendering our textures at anim, so anim is our current enemy's animation, so that should be our player. Yeah. It's very confusing to me why we'd be normal color there and red over here. And then unred. I mean, that makes sense that we're in a entity idle state. So I guess let's see if we go back, if we search for our starting scene, we can go and change that back to 1-2. We'll see if we start as red. We do, and we come unred. So let's just start there. I mean, there's a reason that we weren't red on the other page, and I don't know why. I believe we initialize all entities as idle states. State. Maybe we don't. Yeah, okay. Well, we change state here. Let's see in our map declarations if we do change their state upon, yeah. We put all the enemies into idle state. Okay, so then that must mean we're not doing it on scene 1-1 because we don't. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me see. If we go to our play state, we don't change our state. Yeah, we do. We change it to player idle. Oh, it's in player idle, not entity idles. That's why we weren't rendering it. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so let's go. Okay, that makes sense. So we'll go back to our starting scene, and we'll go back to scene 1-1. And we'll go out of our entity idle state. We'll take away this red from there, and we'll go instead to our player idle state, which we don't have harpoon, so we'll go here and take it. We'll take an idle state, harpoon it, so we have access to it, and we will put it here before we draw our sprite. So now we should be on 1-1 in red. Okay, that's great. And only red in the idle state. So what we're trying to test is we want to be flashing red if we get hit. We get hit by an entity. Now right now we don't have the ability to be hit by an entity, but our entities have an ability to be hit by us. But I just want to test what flashing red might look like and if that is an appropriate effect for what we're going for, or if we want to do something different. So we've got red only in the idle state, so how would we flash this? Well, we would need to alternate the color between red and white if we're flashing. So maybe that means our entity. Yo, how much have you won? 200? Dude, you're at 2,000. Oh my god. I gotta watch this one. Yo. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Making it rain, dude. That's sick, dude. How much did you win from that? Dude, 10 freaking K? You won 10K right there. Hell yeah, dude. And you just caught like 5 stars at once? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, that was money. That was money, dude. Oh, hell yeah, dude. That was clean. You caught like 20 stars in 3 jumps. Yo, that was good. That was real good. I'm proud of you. You've come so far. Dude, what the hell are you gonna do with 20,000 gold that you just won? Or you won 10,000 gold. Jesus Christ. Dude, what did you hit to get that much? Was that 7s? Because normally you just like double your money, right? But you freaking 10 times your money. That's epic, dude. That's epic. You hit bars? Dude, I think that's the best one. I think bars is the best one. Hell yeah, dude. Well, what the hell? What did we do? We gotta add something for you to buy for fucking 20,000 or something so that you can actually save up for something. I guess 20,000 will buy you the whole fucking lot. Yeah, dude, we'll put... I don't know what to put. I'll put like a... I don't know what to put. But yeah, we should give you something to save up for or to spend your hard-earned cash. Right? Dude, that was lucky. That was good. That was impressive. Dude, we gotta clip that. Yeah, we'll put that. We'll clip that. That was wild. So what I'm gonna do is add a flashing field to our entity class. And I mean, flashing probably isn't the right word for it. We want like hurt flash or what is that even called in video games? Damage indicator, damage flash. I think damage flash makes sense. So we'll start damage flash out to be false, Oh lordy. damageFlash is false. And then in our idle state here, we can say actually if our self.entity.damageFlash is true, then we want to go ahead and swap our values. So we can do this in a couple ways, but it's almost like it's like we need another variable. Like once damageFlash is true, that's the duration of our damageFlash, but it isn't whether or not we're flashing. It's yeah, how do I explain that? It's like there's a period of time which we're damageFlashing, but then there's a period of oscillation of which we're flashing red and not flashing red. So we need another variable to kind of keep track of how we're flashing, I guess. So it's almost like I need a function. Well, let's see. I kind of want to do, since we have a bunch of entities that want to be able to flash like this, you know, every single entity might be able to flash like this, including us. It would be nice that instead of keeping track of all these separate variables for every entity and whether or not they're flashing or whatever, well, I guess we don't want them to have a synced flash either. So I think we do maybe want to put it separate. Okay, so let's see. Now we don't want to render, let's not worry about this just yet, because we want to just manipulate a field for our player entity. And it's not even just player entity, it's all our entities. So let's say we've got damageFlash false. So I think for right now, let's just say damageFlash is actually true. And what we want to do is say, I think we also want a damageFlash timer. Maybe 1 second. And then if we are, we're damageFlashing, if our self.damageFlash is true, then we're going to go ahead and decrement our damageFlash timer. And then we're going to say if our damageFlash timer is smaller than or equal to 0, then we are no longer damageFlash. And then what we need to do is what are we missing there? We want to put our damageFlash timer to be equal to itself minus delta time. And then we will we're not doing anything with our damageFlash, but if we go into our play state for our idle state for our player, and what we'll do is say if our self.entities.damageFlash is true, then we're going to render our red graphics. Now this won't flash us, but it'll turn us red and then not red after 1 second. And then we'll say else love.graphics .set color. We'll get white. So we should be red for 1 second here, and then not. Okay, so our damage flash is working, but we're not actually flashing. So like just our damage indicator. But so we want to, we need that other variable to keep track of how many times we flash. So we need to do something, and I can change the name of this now that we know what we're trying to do. We can call this damage flashing. And then we need, I'm going to give us a bigger damage flash instantiation. So damage flash, and we'll go change it to 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds, because I mistyped it. And then we need a way to swap it every other second or every other interval. So what we can do here, I don't want to do a ternary operator because that'll just do it every frame. So we need a timer of some sort. So maybe I'll call this damage flash duration, and then I'll call it damage flash timer. So like the duration is how long it's flashing total, and the timer is the timer until it actually flashes. So we'll also have a damage flash timer, and that'll be set to maybe half a second. No, maybe more than that, or less than that, maybe 1/10 of a second. It's going to oscillate between flashing red or not. So let's go find where we have our damage flash timer. Oh lordy, we want to go here, and we want to replace all of our flash timers with flash duration. And then we just want to make sure that's still working for 4 seconds. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we want to, if we are damage flashing, we just need a boolean for flash on or flash off that switches every damage flash timer duration. So we can say that if we're flashing, if our damage flash is true, then we're going to take our damage flash timer and we are going to decrement that damage flash timer by our delta time. And then if our self.damage flash timer is smaller than or equal to 0, then we're going to go ahead and reset it. Now we have to, it's like we need another flashing. We need a self.flashing to become either true or false here. So, and we can't just hard code it like this because it needs to alternate either flashing or not flashing. So if it's flashing, it needs to become not flashing. If it's not flashing, it needs to become flashing. So how we can do that is set our variable here. We can say self.flashing gets self.flashing, and how do we do this? This is the ternary operator I was thinking of. We're setting our self.flashing equal to itself, and damn it. I was hoping I could remember how to do it. It's like it's and or, but I don't remember how to do it. And false or true. So you say and false or true. Okay. So let's try that. We'll say damage flashing and false or true. That sounds ridiculous, but what that does is if these two are equal to one another, meaning if flashing is, so what it'll do is it'll evaluate self.flashing first. So let's say it's true. Then it'll say and false, which true and false makes false. So it'll turn our dot flashing into true. It'll return true and store it into our flashing variable because of the assignment. Now if flashing is false, false and false is true, so it'll evaluate to this first one, which is false. No. I don't know how this works. I thought. If it's true, we'll get the first one. If it's false, we'll get the second one. So if it's true, we'll get the first one. I don't get that. Let's see if that works. So what we're doing is we're hopefully alternating our flashing boolean every flash timer amount of time, and we put it at a 0.1. So now we need to render our red, not if we are whatever we were doing, but we have to do it whether or not we are flashing. So let's go see our player idle state. Instead of a damage flash, we're gonna say if we're flashing. It almost worked. Damage flash timer, 0.1. Let's do a whole one. Shit, man, shit. Yo, Akabob, did you end up seeing the movie The Creator? Did you hear about that one? It's called The Creator. It came out last year. It's the sci-fi one with the dude from Tenet, John David Washington. So it's directed by Gareth Edwards, who did Monsters and Godzilla and Rogue One. But it's a sick movie. It's really good. It's really, really good. I was just thinking about it because we saw Godzilla vs. Kong today. And I liked that movie fine. It was fine. But the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, I wish I was watching The Creator. That was a good movie. Yeah, we're just not flashing. So why is our boolean busted? Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's really good. We're really jacking this up. Today. We're just not setting our color otherwise. So we are setting it here if we're not flashing, so we're just not becoming properly not flashing. So let's go print up whether or not we're flashing in our scene here. Now we'll go to the bottom and we'll say, hey, we're gonna print up whether or not we are flashing. And we're gonna print out our players dot flashing boolean. And we'll see that it goes from false to true and stays there. False to true and stays there. So we're not flipping that. We're not flipping it. We gotta go flip it. Okay. I think we might need an equality operator here instead of an assignment. Nope. Dude, I know there's a way to do this. I know there's a way. This is so elementary. I should know this. Where are we doing mouse visible? Are we doing that? Oh. Well, that's one way to do it. Let me check something real quick. And I guess what we can do is we can detach from our tmux. We can go check real quick. If we go, what, in our Joust repo, I think we have a example of this. I want to say it's in our main. It's like when we toggle help, when we press our H key, I think we do it. Okay. Here. Really? Okay, we just flip it. Okay. Well, maybe I'm overthinking this. So let's just say flashing gets not flashing. If it's a Boolean, we can do something as simple as this. If it's like two values, like two numbers or something, we can't really do this. So let's see if we're flashing now. Yo. For 4 seconds, we should be flashing. That looks pretty good. Oh, and then we're not. Okay. So if we are, we need to set our flashing to not be equal to true, right? If our flash duration is smaller than or equal to 0, we need to become damageFlash false. But we've got our flashing working, and the timing actually looks pretty good for it. It's just, it needs to be cut maybe 2 seconds worth, and we'll need to add a little sound. I was talking to one of my sound friends. One of my sound friends reached out to me and said he is wanting to get into sound design for games and stuff. So he asked me if I wanted to pair up with him, and he wanted to make some music for the game or some sound effects for the game. So we'll be seeing. I'm gonna meet with him this week sometime about potentially getting some sound effects for the game. On one hand, it's like I want to do all of it and just create everything myself. But on the other hand, if my friends want to help do parts of it, I think it could be really cool, collaborating with some people. So we're gonna see if he can come up with some sound design effects, and it could be a cool collaboration. I don't know what's gonna come from it. I don't think I've told him that the game is free. But I also don't want him to work for free, so I don't know how we're gonna work that out. So it might just be like a flat rate, I mean, maybe he can make some demos, and if I like it, I can give him a flat rate or something, and then if I don't like it, then he should do better. Or we'll see. I'm excited for that, because sounds are going to be really cool for the game. It's going to add a lot. So we need to, if our flash duration damageFlash gets false. Okay, so what we messed up on here is that our player idle state gets our flash duration. No. Where do we instantiate our flashing to be true? Idle state? I don't know. No. Entity. Gotta be our entity class. Okay, so in our entity init, we're getting damageFlash true. And then so let's see, the damageFlash duration being 4. So if we're flashing, if our damageFlash is true, then we're going to decrement our flash timer. Our flash timer is what's controlling whether or not we're actually flashing red or not. And then we're decrementing our flash duration. And if we're smaller than or equal to 0, we're no longer in a damageFlash. But that means we need to actually, yeah, why does that mean? DamageFlash gets false. DamageFlash gets true. So yeah, why would we be flashing again after a certain amount of time? Let's see, we flash here. Oh, we don't. Okay, so it is accurate. Okay, so anytime we want to flash that thing. Now I did it for the player here first because I just wanted to test it and see how it looks like, because we need to get the ratio right. We need to get the, probably needs to be 2 seconds and maybe a bit faster on the flash. So 0.05 maybe, and let's see, twice as fast flashing, half as long. And then why is flashing true? We need to make sure we end on a flashing false, because just because it's alternating doesn't mean it ends on a false. So we need to make sure that our self.flashing gets false at the end of a flash duration, and that'll fix that problem. That looks pretty good. It looks, maybe let's see a bit faster. Oh, and we changed this flash timer. Okay, so we need a global or a constant here. So let's go do this. In our constants here, we'll say I always feel like the weekends on Twitch are so dead. I mean, I get it. People are actually living their life and stuff, but like on a Monday night, I get so much interaction and stuff, I feel like. Just on the weekends, there's nothing. It's like if Akabob wasn't here, I'd be just talking to myself for 50 minutes. Again. Oh yeah, and Easter. Easter's more of like a daytime holiday though, right? Like no one's having like Easter dinner, or do people do that? Never knew what we did. All we did for Easter was like a little chocolate egg hunt or whatever. Okay, I don't think I want to put... I guess we will put it here. Let's just put our flash frequency equal to 0.05, and we'll try that. And then we'll put this equal to our flash frequency. We'll say flash frequency, and then we need to instantiate it here as a flash frequency as well. And we'll go here, change word, flash frequency, and then we'll see what a 0.05. Oh, that's fast. Let's change it to... So 0.05 was too slow, 0.5 is too fast, so let's do a 0.25. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we need it much faster. Gosh, now I think the 0.05 is worth it. Let's see, 0.05. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm kind of not hating that. Let's see what a 0.08 looks like a little bit slower. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And then maybe a little bit faster of a duration, so not quite 2 seconds or whatever it is. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. So let's go to that flash duration or whatever it was. Flash duration, 1 second. Let's see. Yeah, let me stop rendering. Okay, we'll stop rendering our flashing debug so we can see what flashing looks like. That's good. Yeah, just something simple like that. Literally just something simple like that. Just flash, flash, flash because you got hit and then stop. Okay. Now it looks like we kind of stop in the middle of a red flash. So I think I want to shrink the duration just a tiny bit. Where is our... Let's try a 0.9 flash duration. Let's see. That looks smoother. That does look a bit smoother. I don't know why. Because it's like on the frame, you know, we're setting our flashing to become false as soon as we stop damage flashing. So if we're at a weird interval where we just turned to flash, but our duration's out, it would only flash for like 1 frame or so. So like we want... That looks pretty good. Let's see. That looked good. I like that. So we'll take a flash duration. We'll put this into another constant here. And this is actually in our entity. So what we can do, yeah, we can take it out of our constants and make it local to our entity, which is a better idea. So we'll say that up here we have a local flash frequency, and then we want a local flash duration. And we can give our duration 0.85, and our flash frequency is 0.08. Then we can initialize this to our... And this way we can hard code in the same flashing frequency and duration for our other entities. So we'll say that our flash duration here is locked in. Let's make sure we're still working. Cool, that is perfect. So now we need to default our damage flash to be false. Now we're also... What's not so great about this is we're doing this based on the state, which I don't like. So we should take it out of the state, out of the play state, because we could be walking and then get damage flashed and then stop walking and then we'd be in idle and then we wouldn't be able to keep our flash. So that's why I want to move it out. So I think I want to move it out here, out of our player idle state, and we want to move it into our entity class so that if any entity is damage flashing, if our self is flashing, we set the color. Let's see if it still renders it fine. Okay, well, not right. It's not self. Yeah, it is self. What the flip? Oh, we initialized it. Okay. I know what's happening. So like our spellcast entities are always going around us like that, but we're setting our color to white. We've got to do we're setting our entity spellcast to be a certain color of transparency. So either we need to move our spellcast entities out or only change their rendering to be based on a type of spellcast entity. So let's see how we might be able to do that. But let's make sure that we are flashing indeed. If we become flashing up here, we should be flashing. And our spellcast entities gets flashing too, which makes sense because it's part of our entities. So we don't want our spellcast entity to be flashing like that. But it looks like maybe we can do something with... Let me see. our fire spell collides. See, it's like we need to have like a spellcast entity type in our entity so that we know. So if we go and look at when we give ourselves our spellcast entities, I believe it's in our scene based on our count. So we're gonna say, look, our spellcast entities gets this, but we need to add in a type spellcast, so that we can only apply certain things to entities that aren't of type spellcast. So what that means is we gave ourselves a field called type in our spellcast entities, and we need to go to our entity definitions and make sure that not our entity definitions, but our entity class. We want to entity class now needs a self.type field that takes in whatever we define it as. So when we define it as type, it gets instantiated and puts into a field called type of that entity. And then what we can do, oh, we've got a freaking type. We've got a type. Okay, we've got a type already. So that's good. So now that we're assigning a type spellcast to each entity that is a spellcast entity, we can go to our entity class and we can say only flash if we're not a spellcast entity, right? And not self.spellcast. No, it's self.type equal to, and we can do this with a tilde, and self.type does not equal a type spellcast. So now I'm hoping we don't flash our spellcast entities, and it should make them transparent again because we're not changing it to a color white. Well, else we also want to only change it white if we're not a spellcast entity. Else, how would we do that? I guess what we can do is first check if we're a type spellcast and not do anything. So like if we're not, if we're, oh lordy. Okay. If our self type for our entity does not equal spellcast, then we're going to go ahead and potentially change our color. So if we're a spellcast entity, we don't change how we render our color. Maybe. Let's see. Nice. Okay, so we flash, spellcast entities don't. That's what we want. So now what we can do, instead of us becoming flashing, let's go ahead and initialize our true to false and only become damage flashing. And we can test this with a gecko. So if we go to our starting scene, we can go to our gecko page. Let's just go ahead and actually go make us damage flash true to make sure our geckos are flashing also. Yes, perfect. So our geckos do flash, but we want to only flash them upon a collision detection, and we have to do that timing so that we don't collide more than one time in a second as well. We'll probably end up doing that today, even though I should get back to my homework. But we're so close. So let's go. We want to go to our knockback. So what we can do is go search knockback, and we've got our entity knockback here. So if our fire spell collides with our spellcast, if our entity collides with our spellcast entities, then we're going to take away our I want to add this dot hit field because that'll be, hey, once we get hit, we're hit for a certain amount of time, then we're no longer hit. It might correspond to our, and actually, yeah, why don't we do that? We can just correspond it to our self dot flashing damage flash. So we can say that we get damage flash right here. Damage flash, oh god, dot damage flash. Oh my god, we could do it so easily. So all we gotta do is say, hey, damage flash is true if we collide, right? That'll turn the flashing on for 2 seconds or whatever the duration was. But what we want to do is we only want to run this knockback to our DX. Oh, we've got a self.hit also. I don't think we do anything with that just yet. But I'm going to say if we collide and we are not damage flash. Now that's where hit makes more sense. But let's see. They're not flashing. And if we hit, they freaking flash. We did it. Now the question is, can we hit him more than once? Yeah, well... yeah, they still bump around. Huh. So they end not damage flash. Okay, so I think if they're hit... oh, look. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's try it based on hit. Because now what hit does is if they're still having a dx or dy applied to their velocity once they're hit, then they'll be hit.true or hit equals true. Now, as soon as they stop sliding from being hit, they'll become not self.hit, and then we'll be able to add another knockback because we're only doing that if we're not self.hit. So let's try that, and we should have them not become bouncing in our thing here. I guess it just depends. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're not flashing anymore. Gets true. So why does that make them? Because anytime they knock back, their damage flash should be true. That should be totally separate. So I don't get why. Why did that take that off? Oh, it didn't. What the heck? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like. Why? We don't want this. We don't want equal to 0. We want, actually, yeah, we do want. Shit. Okay. Because if we're hit, we slowly decrement. Well, let's see. Actually. We should be, okay, this is what I was thinking of, yeah. So we don't want to do this. We don't want to decrease our dx and dy all the time. We only want to decrease it if it's not 0, right? So like if we're hit, go ahead and do all this decrease logic and then update our x and y position according to that delta x and y. And then if we're 0, which means we're done moving, because these functions will return 0. If either of them are 0, then we're no longer hit. Let's see if that changes anything. See, like they flash, and then they stop flashing. They can flash once, and then they stop flashing for whatever reason. So what's happening there? They're not becoming flash true again, or flash true, or damage flash. Damage flash might not be the right thing. Crap, we're so close. We're really close. why would they not become damage flash true again? They're getting the knockback, so if they're getting the knockback, you would think that their damage flash should be true. Let's take a look at their damage flash logic here. Damage flash. We want to say this is just in their entity init. If they're flashing, they get a timer. We're not resetting our flash timer. Wait, yeah, we are. Okay, so if we're damage flash, we're going to take our timer and start deducting it. Okay, so I think we need to reset our flash timer to flash frequency upon them stopping as well, because we're only setting it if our flash timer reaches 0, and I think if they stop moving before they finish being hit, I think they're not setting their flash frequency appropriately. So I think if we take this and we put it right here upon getting hit, set your frequency. Let's see if that changes it. So hit. Nope. They still only do it once. So it's like we need to do it if we're hit. No. Shit, man. What do you want from me? We could print up the flash frequency for an individual entity, but I feel like it's not getting set to true again. So like anytime we do a knockback, which is right here, we want to set our flash frequency. I don't get why that doesn't reset it. Huh. I think we need to give them a higher velocity too of being hit so that they don't land in us. Like we need to move their ass so they don't land on us. This is close. This is close. So if their damage flash is true, let's just look through the logic again for our damage flash. Now, as soon as that damage flash is true, we've got a flash timer and a flash duration. So we're not resetting one of these. So we need to be able to, we're not resetting our flash timer. That's what it is. We're not resetting our flash timer. So if our duration runs out, when our duration runs out, we need to set our flash timer back to be equal to a positive number. That's why it was only rendering once. And our flash timer is our flash frequency. So we go set our flash timer equal to our flash frequency. Well, we're doing that here. If our damage flash is smaller than or equal to 0, okay, then we reset our timer. So then what we're not resetting is not our frequency, but our flash duration. Yeah, we got to reset our flash duration. Well, flash duration doesn't change. Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Okay, yeah, we got to reset our flash duration here. So we'll go here, flash duration. That should fix it. So now they should flash each time they get knocked back. Yes, they do. Okay, so let's go take away their little health bars, because we know that's working. Now, where is the health bar render for these little guys? I think it's in the entity walk state. And yes, it's right here. So look, instead of doing this, let's call this health bars, and we will actually just comment them out. Now, I think I want to add a little bit bigger of a knockback to our spellcast when we hit them. So we want to go see where our knockback is. It should be the dx and dy of our entity. Let's see, it's 0, 0. Yeah, so let's see where we do our knockback. Now we're setting it here to a spell knockback. Okay, so I just want to increase this knockback. So instead of this being in our constants file, I want to take this and move it locally to our entity class. And we will put it right here. And we'll go back to here and write that so we don't have that. Let's see. So increased, oh, we didn't increase our knockback. Let's increase our knockback just a bit here. Let's say that it's a 1.5 now. Let's see, we might need to change some of that. I think we need to change the flash duration just a tiny bit, but they should still cleanse. Oh, they're not cleansing. They're not cleansing. Yeah, they should be cleansing by now. So I think when we turned off our cleansing, yeah, we're dividing our entity health by 6.25 here. So, yeah, we need to take our entity health and divide it by 6.25 in order to get the proper health. So we'll take, yeah, where do we even define our entity health? Now this is, let's see. If we go into our entity walk state, we'll see that we're taking a self.entity.health. So that should mean in our entity class, we have a .health out of 100, right? We define it, okay, oh God. What just happened? So if we were to draw these health bars right now, they would actually be the proper size because we're dividing it by 6. So we need to take our health and divide it by 6 here. And actually, no. Okay, I think we need to multiply, since we're dividing it by 6, I think we need to multiply the damage they produce by 6, because we divided by 6.25 to get our health bar to be of 16 pixels. But that doesn't mean our health, shit. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. I think, you know what, if I just play long enough, if I play 6 times longer than I was playing, they should ultimately cleanse, I think. See, I don't like that we can knock them right into us. They should only ever knock away from us. So I'm a little confused how they're knocking into us. Yeah, they just cleansed. So yeah, we need, and we need to become not flashing as soon as we turn into a normal gecko, because we don't want the normal geckos to be hurt. And it takes longer to kill because we only take away their damage. We used to take away damage every frame they're colliding, but now we're only doing it once the instant they're hit, and then they're hit, and then we don't subtract it. So I think we just need our damage output to be boosted by a certain amount. And you know what? Let's put our health back on so we can see that their health bars are actually draining slower than they used to. Because I'm pretty sure that's the case. Now that we changed the self.hit, we don't accrue damage. Yeah, see how much more health they've got? So we need to just up our damage, which I don't know where we have our damage. Let's see if we have a damage. We don't have a damage. Where do we do this? In our entity walk state, maybe? Our entity class. It's a fire spell collides right here. Okay, so look. Oh, we don't even have a constant. We just take away 5 health. Yeah, so if we take away only 5 health, they have a pool of 100, so that's 20 collisions you have to do before they get cleansed. So let's do 4 collisions before they get cleansed, but actually right now let's just do 2 just to speed it up a bit. So we'll encode this as a real Rev. How's it going, dude? Yeah, let's give us a local damage up here. And for now, we'll put it to 50, which means since there is 100 in their health pool, then 2 collisions will take away their health. So, or will cleanse them. But then we also wanted to make sure they're not damage flashing if they become normal geckos. So they do that in the where did we do that? We already looked for this once. Where do we change our animation? We change our dot animations to become not what is it? Health would be smaller than or equal to 0, and we do it right here. And let's do this. This is the cleanse. And we'll put it here. We want to make sure that they're not damage flashing the instant they turn. So that should fix both of those problems. They should now let's take away their health bars. Let's go to the ending walk state. We'll go here. We'll take away their health bars. And 2 hits should cleanse them. And then they should not flash once they turn. Oh, they're still flashing. Yeah. Okay, so we need to not only change the damage flash, but... Oh, it's flashing as well. Flashing also gets false. Now that should change it. So 2 hits, and we should get cleansed. Oh, come on, dude. Why are you still flashing, homie? They're only flashing if they are a self-thought flashing, so flashing gets false should set their color to white. So why is their self... Oh, it's not damage flash. It is self.entity.damageFlash. That should be it. Okay. No longer damage flash. Actually, that's redundant. We just need to become no longer flashing. Let's see. So 2 hits should cleanse them and not flashing. Well, no, either they're flashing. Let's see that. Damage flash is false. Nice. That's it. Oh shit, I hit him again. Yeah, we should not be able to hit a uncorrupted gecko. So we shouldn't be able to collide if we go to our fire spell cast. That's in our entity. We should only be able to hurt them if they are a type corruption or and not self.corrupted. We flush their corruption here, so they shouldn't be able to get damage when they are cleansed. Oh god, okay. And corrupted. Cool. What's going on, Real Rev? How you been? How's your game coming along? Nice. Yeah, we don't damage them. Our fire doesn't damage them once they're normal geckos. Oh, that's cool. Yes, yes, yes. Cool. So one thing we gotta still do, I think I want to detect which quadrant or which edge they're closest to and make them walk that way instead of a random direction. Because right now we could cleanse them in the bottom left and they can walk all the way up to go get cleansed. We want them to pick the nearest edge and walk that way. See, like that guy's walking all the way across screen instead of just walking down and getting off screen. Same with that guy. Oh, that's looking cool though. I'm liking how it's looking. Yo, I love the Typhlosion on stream avatars. That's really cool. Okay. Nice, yeah. Yeah, man, just keep chipping away at it. It's even if you can only do, 10 minutes here or there, that adds up. So just keep chipping away at it. I hope you had fun on that cruise. Yeah, so let's go ahead. I do want to see if we can get our direction to be equal to, how do we do it? We'd want to pick the closest edge. So how would we configure the closest edge? If our X is smaller than half of the, I don't know, closest edge. It's almost like we'd have to nice. Yeah, I think Totodile was my first starter on Pokemon Silver, but then my second playthrough I got Cyndaquil and I really liked Typhlosion, so I totally get that. He's a cool guy. Okay, cool. So that's one issue. If we knock back, we need to stop our entities from being knocked back off screen. We don't want them to be knocked off screen, or if we do, we want them to be limited before they deinstantiate, because we have it set to when they walk off screen, they deinstantiate. Just like that, so that we're not keeping track of their variables anymore. But that means if we knock them back with our spell cast, then they actually deinstantiate before they're cleansed, and we don't want to do that. So let's leave us a note that we got to do that. So we got to say, oh, and you know what? We did a lot of these. We did a lot of this. We did detection for entities. We didn't do that. We added no, not player health. We added entity health. So we can say added entity health. We did that. Knockback upon hit. Okay, and then we can flashy pain indicator. We did that. Collision detection spellcast entity. That's what we did. Update current map entities. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put these in our done pile. This is just an idea. Now, what we need to do is we need to have cleansed geckos pick closest edge to walk to, and we need there was another thing and I just forgot it. What was it? Closest edge. Damn it, there was another thing I wanted to do. Oh, the knockback. We need to prevent a knockback. I mean, like, maybe that far back is fine, but anything further than that, before they go off screen, they need to stop being knocked back so that they don't accidentally deinstantiate. So we'll say clamp entity knockback to just before they deinstantiate. I think we set them to deinstantiate as soon as they're fully off screen. So we might need to put we needed to just clamp them before they get off screen. So I think this will be the next episode. We haven't done that stuff just yet. You're a madman, dude. 10,000 gold. This is great. Yeah, the flashy damage makes it look so much cooler. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, yes. Oh, did he? I thought the grass there was like poop that the gecko left, but it's just the grass there. Oh, I thought, boy, did I think. It looked like right as he was leaving stage, he just pooped, which is very apt of geckos. My gecko poops in her water dish almost daily. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe she saw me poop in water one time, and she's just acting like me. Cool. So I don't know if I want to keep the damage as like a quarter of their health or whatever. It used to be just the time of collision. Exactly, we all poop in a big water dish from time to time. It's just, yeah, hopefully it's not the same you drink from, hopefully. This is looking so good. Yeah, I'm really liking this. So now we do need to add entity to player collision. So if they hit us, we flash and we get knocked back so that we don't have this kind of, whatever you want to call this, happening. So we do need to add, I think we have this, add health. Oh, we did this. We did this today. Decrement health upon cast collision, we do that. Cleanse gecko, yes, we have that. Yep. So yeah, we just need detection for player v entities. Yep, that's right here. Okay, so yeah, next episode will probably be these three. We will cleanse our geckos. Our cleansed geckos will pick the nearest edge to walk to. We'll clamp their knockback so that they can't go off screen and be de-instantiated, and then we'll have collision detection for our player versus entities, and that means we need player health. So we'll probably go the Link's Awakening route, which is like hearts on screen, and then every time you get hit, it's half a heart, or geckos might be a quarter heart or whatever, so that, you know, geckos will probably be the weakest ones, and then the birds might be stronger, and then I don't know what other enemies we've got to brainstorm, but it's looking really good. I really like what we were able to do today. Go ahead and check out our get diff. So all we did today, we gave us a couple of different things, mainly the flash frequency and duration for our damage flash. So we give ourselves a damage flash. Now, what that means is we're gonna have a flash timer that we oscillate between flashing or not flashing, and that is what is controlling whether or not we're red or not. And then we are damage flashing only if our spell collides with a spell, our spellcast entities collides with a gecko entity, and we're applying a local spell knockback instead of that magic number. And then we moved our DX and DY logic down a bit to be closer to where we update our X and Y position, which made more sense. And then this is the actual flashing. We're going to be alternating between red or white. And we had to say only if we're not spellcast, because we were alternating the color of our spellcast entities that are always going around us, whether or not we see them or not. They're always doing that because I liked the continuity of the spells going around you, because as you try to balance your focus, they go in and out of transparency. And if they're going in and out and they're resetting every time, it just kind of breaks the illusion. So we keep them rotating around us at all times, and whether or not you see them is dependent on whether or not you're casting a successful spell cast. And then we flush our damageFlash for our geckos once they're cleansed, and then we take out our health bars. So yeah, all in all, pretty good day. So I guess what we can say is we added damageFlash for entities. Cool. I'll be back at it tomorrow and we'll get some more stuff done. I'm gonna go ahead and raid my buddy Practical NPC because it is always fun to give him a raid, but I hope you guys have a good rest of the night and have a good Easter. I'll catch you guys later.